we have the tarot, but we have, God, I have about a half dozen other divination decks to give you a well-rounded forecast to prepare us for the big changes that are in store this week going into the next couple of weeks. And I'll explain what that means on an astrological level, what's going on an energetic level in just a moment. So we do our 3-card spread, a meditation card, and really try to dive into these energies and help us prepare. So if you're here as a video, I'm going to start in just a second. I like to give the live people just a minute or two to get their notifications so they can come on. But let me see who's on so far. Hello, Miss Annie. You're number 1. Hi, Jody. Welcome. Welcome. Hi, Katie, Chris, Karen, Laura, and Janice. So far, that's it. And I hope everybody is doing well. And the weather's changing all over this country, as well as around the world this week. So there's a lot of pattern shifts going on. I heard Ireland and UK had a bad storm. What was that? Storm Darby, or it was the D storm, the D winter storm. But anyway, and here in the Northeast, we've gone from the deep freeze. Now we're going into a big thaw, and a lot of rain is coming, snow up north, and parts of the Southwest that have had some, good high temperatures approaching record highs is going to cool down. Flooding in the Southeast, and things that were predicted by Spirit through me. So I only take credit for being the messenger, including a lot of you guys know who have been following this channel for a good while, that for at least 6 months, if not longer, we've been zeroing in on a California earthquake, specifically for the month of December. Now, I think there might be another one coming, probably more into January and February. Hopefully not. If this was it, I have to be honest that it wasn't as bad as what I was feeling and seeing. But timelines are fluid. Things can change. Maybe we've leveled up energetically and the earth isn't quite as regurgitating of energy. I don't know. But anyway, there's a few other predictions that came true already. I can't think of it. Oh, by the way, we just had an X 2.29 flare from the sun, a solar flare. I don't know if it's Earth, if there's going to be an Earth-directed coronal mass ejection, but we may get auroras. But that would explain why my sleep was so dicey last night, that I kept waking up and falling back asleep and having kind of these sort of astral dreams, versus clearing a lot of entities for myself, the Earth, and other people. So anyway, thank you, solar flares. So I think we're going to get started. Let me see what you guys are saying. And, if you're new, we do a lot of community interactions on Tarot Time. So this kind of becomes sort of our community hangout every Sunday at 11 a.m. And hi, Felicia, Roseanne. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hello, Suzette. Welcome, Suzette. Sunnyverse. I like that, Sunniverse. Very good. Yeah, happy. And Karen S., if I miss you. Laura B., grand rising to you. So if I miss anybody, I think we got, hey, Meryl, happy Sunday. All right. So what happened? We had the solar flare. We had, we've got, astrologically, I think we all know by now, Pluto's in Aquarius for about 19 and a half years. So it's not going to change signs, not going to go back into Capricorn anymore. It's going to stay there. Venus just hit Aquarius, I think, yesterday. So Venus is just adding a little bit of juice to Pluto. Now, Aquarius is Uranus ruled. All the outer planets are near a cusp. I have my ephemeris handy. I don't even remember where Uranus and Neptune are located right now. Neptune's in Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus, I think. But anyway, the point being is that Uranus is very much about surprises, sudden changes, evolution, revolution, and stuff like that. And just Venus kind of tapping in. Venus will only be about 4 weeks in Aquarius. It's an annual cycle that Venus goes through, but it's adding a little bit of juice. And we're just going to see a lot of stuff. They're showing me walls crumbling as I'm talking. So we're going to see really the next phase of this facade, that this I don't know if facade's the right word, but the unstable structures of our planet, of our society, of our world society further crumbling, which is something that's going to be happening over the next several months. Now, we also have the 12-12 portal coming up on Thursday. We're going to do a transmission here, of course, to help you to sync in with the vibrations or the frequency of that portal, so you can have a greater experience of ascension during the 12-12 portal. We also have the solstice portal. So 12-12 kind of kicks off that solstice portal where the sun is really not moving a whole lot in reference to the earth, at least latitudinally speaking. So we have our shortest days. We actually had last night was our earliest sunset of the year, December 7th. And some people may wonder why it's not the 21st during the shortest day, but due to the diurnal patterns, the daylight shifts, in reference to our clock. So basically, the days are shifting ahead. So conversely, we had the latest sunrise. Not counting March when we go in, when we first go into daylight savings time, but that's around January 5th or 6th or so. So anyway, being a little bit technical, we've had many quakes here recently. So quakes in that area, it could be from hydrofracking and wastewater ejection. It could be from underground caves and caverns being built. So there's a lot of activity going under the earth. What's happening? It's a big release. And so, again, Venus is just helping to activate and energize the Pluto energy. We had the solar flare this morning. Pretty strong one, X 2.29, pretty strong one. If the solar winds line up and if the CME's Earth directed, come around Tuesday, we may have some auroras again. Oh yes, thank you, Mr. Floyd is on. So if you guys missed the interview, I did some channeling. Josh did some channeling. We had a good old time Friday morning on Good Dawning. I have that. I have the link pinned on my community page for that, by the way. You're saying about John Mellencamp, when the walls come tumbling down. What's that song I really like? If it's Paper and Fire, although it's not really so deep meaning wise, but I really like that song for some reason. Hi, Justine. Hi, 1111. Yes. 15 likes and 32 watching. Oh my God. Yes, please subscribe. Yes. So what else do I have to say? So that's basically it. There's a lot of changing astrologically. These walls are tumbling down. There's new frequencies. That's what they want to say. There's new energies that are affecting the earth. We have star beings or ascended masters or interdimensional beings. And they just last night and this morning, they're just kind of saying, humanity's ready for the next phase now, and they're going to show up more, and the frequencies are going to change. And a lot of people are going to have awakenings. They're showing people dying, but it's symbolic. Initiation is a death of the old, a rebirth of the new. So the earth herself may be going through initiation for the first December into the first 2 or 3 months of 2025. So this is the time to be very grounded. They've shown me my stomach. So work on any sacral chakra issues, because you want to be emotionally clear. In the sacral chakra, that's our creative, our sexual, all that stuff. And of course, we live in a sick society that's basically sexually, what's the right word? Unbalanced, for lack of a better word. So we live in a society that's very sexually unbalanced, and we tend to hold a lot in the sacral chakra, and then we have, it kind of relates to a lot of emotional challenges and things like that. So they're kind of saying when we root and ground, root from the sacral also, not just from your root chakra, but the sacral chakra. That's the lower Dan Tien. In martial arts training, we work a lot with that center because that's the center of our gravity. So if we can apply proper footwork and proper body mechanics, our sacral chakra magnifies that energy. That's how somebody like myself, I mean, I'm not practicing as much, but one of the not to boast or anything, but I was a pretty good martial artist, and people would tell me that I had the punching kick of a 200-pounder, but meanwhile I weigh about 125 pounds. It's all body mechanics, it's all alignment, it's all using the earth, like using the body mechanics to utilize the energies of the earth to translate that energy into the strike. Basically, of course, we're spiritual warriors. We want peace, but it's good to be able to defend ourselves and defend our families and our loved ones also, right? So that's all part of the change, getting out of the old primitive and ascending into the more spiritual. So anyways, other than that, so you're in wait, New Madrid, fault here. The New Madrid. That's not in California then. That you're in Arkansas, right? Or and you had an 8. That's I would think I would have heard about that. Yeah. Um anyways, anyhow, let's do some tarot. It's tarot time, right? Let's do some tarot. So I'm going to do a meditation card for the week. See anything with current events. Well, every day is a new adventure out in the world. Netanyahu's name comes up a lot. Yeah, and also I still believe the inauguration is going to happen. I'm gonna actually on Thursday I'm releasing the winter psychic forecast on the Medium channel. I'll have a lot more to say about that, the changing the guards and everything. I'm still giving it about an 85% chance, 15% chance that he doesn't get sworn in. If it goes into that timeline, I think it's more likely to be his health than anything. But I still feel like he's coming in, and I feel like he's gonna feel like he needs to do things very quickly, like he has limited time, basically. So you're gonna see a lot of swift changes. This Pluto in Aquarius is really gonna like stir things up a lot. And of course, we have the most polarizing figure that I'm aware of in my lifetime stepping into office again. So love him or hate him, it catalyzes change, and we need change. We will just hope and pray. Put our prayers out there. Part of the 12-12, we'll do some group prayers also to bring higher energies, to bring more consciousness into those that control what happens here on the earth. The politicians, even the president, has limited control, but they do have some. It's more like the powers above them, basically, and stuff like that. Cali earthquake was 7.0. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, and it was just offshore. It was a slide. Obviously, it was a slide earthquake because there's no tsunami. So that was the really good news. And I feel like the star beings are here. They're saying, we're helping the earth. We don't want major cataclysms, but the fact that the earth is resetting in new energies, there has to be some. Plus, geological activity is just normal. Whether or not we're in a big ascension or not, there's going to be earthquakes. There's going to be movements of the tectonic plate. I mean, it's going to happen anyways. It's just happening more as the earth is more energetic and more unsettled, basically. So we're in this big transitional state. So expect the unexpected. I have a feeling that over the next few months, there's going to be big shifts in the financial systems being proposed or happening. Look out for, I want to say February, but January, February, there could be a crash followed by a rebuild in the financial sector. So keep an eye on your investments and things like that. But I think it's a big earth reset. Very high frequencies. now in the next couple of weeks. Very high. I believe the Schumann resonance was very much off the charts. So I think this latest solar flare that we had this morning is going to be followed up by other flares as well. So step down, left the country. Mercury retro, stellium, and Virgo. So those of you that are having keyboard glitches, and hello, Lloyd. What about the educational system? That'll follow. I'll talk about that in a second. That will follow. But what was I going to say? Mercury in retrograde. I mean, retrograde again. It's nature. Don't fear it. Prepare. When Mercury goes retrograde, it's more of an internal energy. It's more like to maybe clean up the past, redo things, or stuff like that. But Mars is energetic. And Mars and Mercury both in retrograde kind of really affects the technology. So my mantra for the next few weeks is, Adam will not break his computer. He will not throw his cell phone against the wall. I will not break my computer. But anyway, that's a good mantra. All right. So let's see what are you guys doing. Okay, so you can check this out on Mr. Floyd's Universe channel. You have to go to his community page because he's going to be doing this on Zoom. But Blindly Inspired, Chris is an expert in Feng Shui and has a different take of anybody that I've ever listened to about that. Very, very interesting. And then Millie, welcome, was saying, remember a year or two ago, EA, I don't know what EA is, doing a video about how the heads of state and corporations given a deadline of the end of 2024 to step down or being brought down in circumstance that reveal itself. That's very interesting. And he had Mr. Floyd will not break his third self on number 4. Oh God. I see you and I have similar issues to work on. I will not allow frustration to ruin my vibe. Yeah. Can't type. Yeah. All right. So we start out with a meditation card. Elizabeth April, EA. Okay, gotcha. I've seen a few of her things. And her and others that are tapped in, pretty much all saying the same things, right? Well, funny how that happens. It's like Dolores Cannon doing it, like a lot of her hypnosis is like, and others saying, wow, people from Russia, people from South Africa, people from the United States are having the same experiences with extraterrestrials, describing the same things and the same beings. I wonder why. All right, so meditation card for the week. So this will be some energy that we can work with to help us basically in our ascension, our growth, things like that. So what I need to do is just clear my mind. Here we go, right here. I found the card for us. Movement, a lot of energy with this Knight of Wands. Knights move. Knights are fire. Wands are fire. Mercury's retrograde. I mean, Mars is retrograde. That's a fire planet. That's an energy planet also. I think it's saying the sun's going to be active. But meditating with tarot, this is the Morgan Greer deck. You can take a mental snapshot of this or use your own deck. But you get very relaxed, present, open your heart, open mind, blend heart and mind. Then you blend with spirit. That's heart, brain, spirit coherence. And once you do that, energetically step into the card and just what do you feel? That's the first step. When you're open and clear, just gauge what you're feeling before you step in and what you're feeling afterwards. Don't try to define it or intellectualize it. Just get it. And then maybe you smell something different or hear sound or see more than what's shown in this very narrow window in a whole new universe, a whole new reality. and then check out. See what the Knight of Wands has to say. The Knight of Wands could be a spirit guide that's telling you what movement you need to do, what action you need to take, in your life, in your job, work, career, based on new knowledge that you're receiving, new downloads that you're receiving, that may be changing your perspective on your physical life, your work life, your business, and all that stuff. So I feel like if you do this, you're going to get a lot of information on what to change in your life, so you can have more prosperity, so you can have more spiritual growth, and so you can be more available to help others as well as help yourself during this time of tremendous transition and change. So what else are you guys saying? Oh, yeah. Well, as I often tell you guys, Sunday's my Saturday. So, and last night, I guess it's because solar flares. Like I said, for those of you that missed it, I'm spending, half the night, or part of the night, banishing negative entities basically from people. It's like, why was I doing this? But I was up a lot. Then we had the flare. I think it was around 4 or 5 a.m. here Eastern time. I mean, there's always an energetic buildup before these flares release, basically, and we can't help but to be connected to the sun. We carry the atoms that came from the sun, and the sun came from the cosmos. So we feel these things on some level, and as I say, if there's going to be any interruptions with the magnetism. I can't even talk from the solar flare itself. That would have happened already. So, but then there's a coronal mass ejection with some flares. That's where we get the northern lights from, or the southern lights. So I don't know if this one produced a CME or not yet. I just heard about the flare, basically. All right. So anyway, so this is our meditation card, and it also shows in our lives expect a lot of movement. Now, interestingly, with Mars and Mercury retrograde, the general rules is things slow down and quiet, and also in December, because everything's slowing down. Getting ready for the holidays, for the new year and everything, but doesn't look like that's written into our planetary programs, to be honest. I think that we're being called upon for a lot of action and activity. But, get your rest, get the right balance. I think this is also a statement. It's a lot of fires. I think, again, we're getting a lot of light code activations through the sun from the central sun, basically. I'm going to show this because well, are you talking about the Carrington event? Yeah. But that was in 1859. But for some reason, I flashed onto the event in 2003, which was I think that was an X-25. I'm not sure, but I mean, I didn't know a lot about it, but I was living in the North Catskills at the time, and I was like, why am I seeing all these lights? I was excited. I thought there were UFOs out my window, but even more exciting, I was seeing it was mostly white and green. So it wasn't the most colorful, but it was so bright. I mean, now those were the northern lights, basically. Like, no, you didn't need an iPhone to capture it or any of that. It was brilliant, and they were curtains of energies moving from just north of above, all the way clear to the southern horizon. People in Texas were seeing that. So the 2003 event is the benchmark for northern lights in my area. I missed the May. I heard that was a really good one. It was cloudy here, but I caught the October. You didn't need an iPhone for that either. The colors were very vivid, although the night setting on the smartphone really enhanced the colors and the brightness a lot, but you did not need that to see those flares. They were quite spectacular too, but nothing like the 2003 anyway. And we still have a lot of months to go with solar maximum. I mean, I don't, other than the beauty of the northern lights, I'm not necessarily wishing another Carrington event, because we'll probably lose our cell phones for a while. It'll probably knock out satellites. We might lose the internet if that happens. Although the star beings are with me because they're saying we're keeping an eye on you. I feel like they're saying, yeah. So you can't, things have to happen. They're not going to prevent solar flares, obviously, but they can mitigate something. So in other words, they don't want us to go back to like reverting back to cave people. Like they don't want us to have like a big polar shift where everything, where we lose power for months on end, and every man, woman, and child for themselves. So they're helping to direct this in a way. But point being is that I don't believe that they would allow this to happen in this stage. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't believe they would. I feel like they're saying, no, you're not wrong. We're watching over you. But at the same time, they're not allowed to interfere, but they can influence. I'll put it that way. Just so, we don't, destroy our planet. Not that I think even with our technology, I don't think we can destroy the planet. We can maybe make it less habitable for a good while, but it'll always bounce back. All right, so what are you guys saying here? Hello, Yolanda. Strange dreams. Yeah, I don't know if you caught what I was saying about work, my dream stuff and clearing entities from people and stuff like that. But yeah, lot of dreams. You have to drive to Wyoming. Yeah, but if you get a good enough show, it can reach Colorado. It can. You just need something a little bit more than an X2, I guess. But it's not just the strength of the flare. It's what degree of, what kind of a CME does it produce? Is it directly Earth directed? What are the solar winds at the time of the flare? Are there any substorms happening? If everything lines up well, a next two is plenty to bring northern lights deep into the mid latitudes. But again, everything has to line up just right for that to happen. Hi, Rebecca. So yeah, so a lot with the dreams. Yeah, so we get a lot of information, like a lot of downloads through our dreams. So pay attention to that. So we're going to do a 3-card spread. So you're doing a lot of clearing. Yeah, I think that there's just clearing this old dense energy. That's been a theme that keeps building and building. And I think we're coming to the peak of that. And it's going to show up in our dreams. It's going to show up in strife and conflict around the world, because the earth absorbs and holds a lot of the stress and traumas of our collective. And then when these higher frequencies hit the earth and hit our energetic fields, it starts to release it. That's what high frequencies do. It starts to release that density, and then it comes out in a lot of earth activity, a lot of human activity. They may not be positive at the time, but it's part of the purging. It's part of the clearing. We have to be centered. They've shown me the sacral chakra again. So be really rooted, but be rooted in your bellies also, deep in your belly buttons, and of course, obviously, open of heart and mind and spirit. But it's making me feel like to do a lot of sacral work now. Again, we hold a lot of the emotional pain in the sacrum and the heart. We hold a lot of the traumas, not just our own, but our ancestors, as well as collective traumas. So this is the time of releasing. So if you're holding, so what they're saying is, if you're anchoring in your sacral, and then you're grounding at the same time, that's going to hold you, like hold your physical integrity and your emotional integrity, while allowing the flows of spirit to basically cleanse your energetic bodies, to clear like whatever traumas or subconscious issues you're holding on to individually and as a collective. So that's what I have to say about that. Let's do a 3-card spread. I'm sorry. So that's interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So maybe you're energetically helping that family, MDR, perhaps. And so I'll look out for drones in New Jersey. Lots of pink clouds. If that's happening away from sunrise and sunset, that's weird. Sacral is water energy. The sacral. Hi, blindly inspired. Welcome. So she's on at 6 with Mr. Not a Mr. Floyd's Universe channeling on Zoom. So you've got to get the link from that. And she's not only an expert, but very intuitive in the way she presents her information on Feng Shui and other forms of energetics. Coming to the year of the snake. What does that mean? Shedding skin, transmuting poison into medicine. But we're still in the fire-breathing dragon. So we're still in that point of power, that point of trial by fire in our world. So, I mean, this happens every 12 years. It's a 12-year cycle. But the way things are lining up now, it's all like cross-sectioning in this one point of time, this one now moment that we're in, where all these forces are lining up to just get us out of the 6,000-year funk of humanity, get us to that next level, basically. You're welcome, Josh. You're welcome, Krista. Or is it Krista? All right. Getting ready for labor. Oh, I want to. Where was that? Where was that? Exactly. We're getting ready for a rebirth. Aloha, mahalo from Reef KG in Hawaii. I miss Hawaii so much. My heart is there on Kilauea and Hawaii Island. That whole area. That's one of the Merkable points on the planet. You might know that. My Hawaiian brother or sister, you might know that. In 19.5 degrees latitude, I forgot the longitudinal point, but that's a Merkaba point. That's a power point on the planet. Probably not. Well, in 2 or 3 years, we're going to do a big retreat on the Big Island. Me and Heather. Hopefully in 2 years. By the way, we're planning Spirit Fest 2025 in the Catskills. I have to find a place. I want to be more like woodsy than we were. The center we did Spirit Fest 2024 was good in some ways. It had nice space, nice open space, but in other ways it was inconvenient. So we're looking for another place. We're looking to do a 4-day, and they're saying this is going to be more of like a spiritual boot camp. So that's what Spirit's telling me. Last one was the Lionsgate initiation. So Spirit chose you guys that came, as well as those that are so energetically connected to us, like Josh, for example, and other people in this community for the Lions initiation. But this is going to be more like a spiritual boot camp for us. So we're going to do lots of high-end spiritual work. I want to do for 4 days with Heather Istara, so she and I are gonna do it together. Anyway, that's the plan. We'll see how it all manifests in the next few months. Yeah, I wanted to, I'm not really seeing those lights so much. Yeah. So oh yeah, no, it'll hold up. It's not like it's all gonna come tumbling down. I think the idea with the changes in the educational system is it needs a big upgrade and an overhaul. Basically, it's not really conducive. I'll put it this way towards how should I put this? It's kind of like one size fits all. I'll just put it that way. Meanwhile, every child learns differently. Everybody's an individual. It doesn't fall into the same mold. So there's definitely some issues that need reforming, but I don't think the whole system's going to crash. I think parts of it might. I feel like Spirit's saying, no, not the educational system. Everybody needs to be educated in some way, but we also have to understand there's spiritual education, there's programming, there's different levels of education, social conditioning and programming. And certainly we're a society, so some level of social conditioning is necessary to function in a society, but then you get into like more manipulative programming and kind of a dumbing down or a selectiveness of what is how our children are being educated, and an omission of things that would be important to be. I'll put it this way: what I see when education gets reformed is that there's going to be more of a balance between right and left brain training for children. Albert Einstein and others say that's where true genius comes from, intuition. So right now, it's about 90-10, 90% right brain, left brain, 90% left brain, more the intellectual, and only 10% right brain. So when I was in school, we had reading, math, English, blah, 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 history, one period a week of art, one period a week of music. It's like, no, we're going to get more of a balance, and also practical skills. Like, how do we survive? Like, I wish I was trained in like things like basic carpentry or mechanics, growing up. You have stuff like that, practical skills. And what my vision is seeing, children coming in, they do a morning meditation, do a little bit of stretching and breathing, and still, learning how to read, and or in this case, it might be learning more advanced computer technology as things go on. But anyway, you get the idea, right? So back to our 3-card spread. Homeschooling, yes. A lot of people are going to homeschooling just so they can do that. And as a former teacher, let's see what our former teacher has to say. Thanks, Felicia. It needs upgrade without federal government involvement. It doesn't work for individual states and communities. So we'll see what campaign promises become realities. Love him or hate him. From what I understand, that was something that Donald Trump wants to do, is kind of give more power back to the states for the education. We'll see. We shall see. I remain cautiously optimistic, but somewhat skeptical at the same time. I'll put it that way. The same intuition based. I'll tell you how my son started to read. He's a starseed, so he's although I said he's not the average. Well, I think he is. I think most of these kids are starseeds now, or advanced souls to some degree. He would when he was 3, he would always ask me and his mom, with the road sign in the car, what does that say? What does that say? What does that say? So he did that for a while, and he started to recognize the patterns of the sound, and that's how he started to learn how to read, seeing that an E could be an E, or a T is a T, an S and an S. So like what Felicia's saying, it was more of an intuitive process, the way he learned how to read, initially, and then of course he learned more of the standard ways when he got into school. Each time was homeschooled. Thank you, Yolanda. And again, this is another shout out for what's happening with Blindly Inspired on and again, it's Zoom, so you have to get the link on Mr. Floyd's Universe channel. Yeah, I know, MDR. Yeah, children, not all of them can read. Not all adults can read. There's a lot of brilliant illiterate people. So so it's again, that's just education. Just needed. Language is just that. It's language. Learning the language of the heart, the language of the intuition. Again, that should be developed along with the practical skills, in my humble opinion. Here's a nice example. Does meditate after lunch with a 5th grader. It's starting. Yes, immensely. Meditation can be brought into more of a practical sense. It doesn't have to be like this whole woo-woo catchword, basically. The truth is that we all meditate without even knowing it. Many times a day, we go in and out of a meditative state. So, yeah, I personally, I like woo-woo, but I think it's good to take the woo-woo out of things. You know, it's like same thing with being a medium. I try to bring this into practical terms and tell people, you know, being a psychic or medium doesn't make you special. It just means you're a little bit more aware of a part of the natural human functioning that we all have, basically. Um, I see numbers. Yeah, I had mild dyslexia too. Sometimes I see things backwards as well. And they use phonics in the UK. How that's how we learn languages sometimes through phonics. Yeah. And Millie's saying, I would love to switch because it's ridiculous unless there was some major, again, it would be harder for me to due to their social interaction sports. I think she's talking about switching her children to homeschooling. Yeah. Um, we wanted to homeschool our son, Janice, my son's mom and I, but it just with our schedules and everything, we just kind of raised him and sort of mitigated some of the negativities with education and enhanced some of the positives. He did very well at school, so thank you. Yeah, I think so also. It's a different perceptual, right? It's a more advanced perceptual. It's just kind of like like cancer's a terrible disease, but if we learn how to like if we go into higher energetics and are able to direct more energy into our bodies and our healing systems, we will learn how to heal ourselves and repair organs and even possibly even grow new limbs by directing our own cancer cells. So it won't be a disease anymore. It'll be part of our evolution. So it's similar to what Felicia's saying. Dyslexia is a gift, but right now it's treated as that. I have a good one for you guys. This is what I tell. Tarot time becomes very much a community chat, and you guys add a lot. I studied psychology. That was my minor in college in the 1970s. I majored in meteorology, and we were talking about synesthesia in one of my classes. That was considered a psychosis. Synesthesia, for those of you that don't know what that term means, is the ability to cross sense. Like John Lennon was a natural synesthetic. In other words, like to smell colors or to or to see sound, that kind of a thing. And I was listening to that and listening to try it in my mind. Even back then, I was like, that's not a psychosis. That's brilliance. I want to be able to do that. Of course, I got into LSD and mushrooms back then, and so in my mind, I want to be able to do that without LSD, basically. Because anyway, so I thought that would be, yeah, what was considered a psychosis is actually a gift. And one of my mediumship teachers, my first medium teacher, Sharon Klingler, did a whole stay about savantism, and kind of saying in a way that's more of an advanced mind, more of an advanced ability, and things like that. So I spent a whole day with that and synesthesia, and really talked about how our psychic senses are really our synesthesia. They blend. Our physical senses are more linear, but when you become more psychic, your physical senses may blend more. And I when I listen to music, no weed, no nothing, just stone cold sober. I'm not going to sing Queen for you, although I'm tempted to sing Queen song Stone Cold Sober. I can listen to good music and I'll see the colors and patterns in my mind, basically. So yeah. So anyway, so what was Ruth saying? Because you're new and we like Hawaii. What do you say? So spirits keep coming to talking to me. See patients, people or are patients about to die in a meet. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I mean, I could keep going on and on. Yeah, psychic ability. Yeah, the fear of psychic abilities are programmed. Exactly. Yeah. Um, and I get yet another confirmation in the morning. Something that told me about being a medium and even communicating with animals here is passed on. So it's part of So I believe that's part of why Hecate is here. Hecate, Greek goddess. I think she's Greek. Of the underworld, right? Linked in with Persephone. I try to remember my mythology here a little bit. Yeah, when my father was in hospice, and this is the last story. I'm going to dive into tarot and all my other tools in just a second. Last story because it's all relevant. When he was in hospice, firstly, the first thing was I was sitting down and a gentleman in spirit identified himself as Jerome. So basically, I was like, all right, hello, Jerome, or whatever. So I just kind of went up to the receptionist and said, don't laugh at me or something like that. I don't think I'm crazy, but I'm a medium. And would there be anybody named Jerome that's connected to this place? And they looked at me and said, that's who the hospice center is named after. It was only the person's last names. I wouldn't have known that, basically. It was like Horowitz or something that would be kind of more like a Yiddish name. So I don't know how his first name was Jerome, but that's another story. But in any event, then to the nurses, like, overheard the conversation, and when I was walking to my father, they started walking me and said, we believe you, we've seen things. Like just the other day, Mr. Jones or whoever, when he was dying, we both saw two green angels in the room. So anyway, more validation. All right, moving right along. Clearing my mind. In my mind, I'm seeing a boat on calm water. I just feel like the spirit is saying, do every day, like in the morning, set your intention that you're going to remain calm emotionally during the day, no matter what happens in the world out there. And if you do react to something, you're going to solve it quickly and go back into your peaceful state, because that's my symbol for peace, for emotional peace, is a boat on glass, calm water. And that you're mentally stronger than you think. So don't underestimate yourself, basically. And I think a lot of us are going to be having, another round of falling outs with people over the next week or two. There's going to be incredible pressure for divide, given the political climate of everything. So when I'm doing when I'm doing this, I can't think, because when I'm thinking, I'm not connecting. When I'm connecting, I'm not thinking. Another way of doing this is distracting my conscious mind, just like what I did. I was talking about this, but I was pulling cards at the same time and not thinking what I was pulling. Spirit was doing that through me as I was talking. So what did we pull? Well, we got one emotional card. We got the world. Interesting energy. The world and the Four of Pentacles together. Firstly, this card makes me feel like there's a lot of worry. I mean, what else is new in the world? A lot of worry, right? But I just need a second to feel this out too. I think we're going to hear a lot about the border walls. Not surprising, because we know who's if all the timelines that I'm picking up on hold, who's going to be inaugurated in the president. I just think, I feel like there's going to be a lot going on in world politics, things like that. Again, watch Netanyahu. Am I getting this intuitively? I think I saw this. I think it's more like something I saw, but he might wind up getting arrested for war crimes or getting tried for war crimes. That'd be very interesting. So as I'm looking at this, I think there's a lot of activity in Israel, Palestine, Gaza, West Bank, in that area. Another thing that came out correctly, besides the long-standing prediction from the spring about the California earthquake, that Spirit was able to provide that for the month, was a lot of activity in Korea. And that prediction came to a time where they weren't on the news a lot. They've been on the news recently. So I think seeing that, I'm seeing a lot of water, and a lot of the Asian countries starting to really have some issues as well. I just feel like like whatever's going on, with politics. It's not just here in the US, it's around the world. It's almost like this wave of energy's coming in, and I just think it's going to really change the whole trajectory of like world conflicts and stuff like that, because there's powers that want war because it's money. It's everything revolves around money, greed and power, basically. But I think there's another, more of an enlightened energy, more of a consciousness that's coming in. I mean, is that the white hats? Is it that, or is it something else? I don't know. Honestly, I try to stay out of like the labeling and the right wing perspective, the left wing perspective, and try to draw purely from spirit as I can. But some of the stuff may wind up being things that happen, basically. It just feels like that they're really going to be trying over the next, not this week, but over the next period of time, to really clean up a lot of corruption around the world, and it may put a kibosh on this whole World War III thing, basically. For this week, we may, be getting a lot of news about money, about the financial system. This is telling us not to hold on to things, basically. So part of this three cards, it's not just about world predictions, it's about us as a community and about you. And the idea here is, we hear, the King of Cups reverse, that could be a lot of emotional releasing or stuff like that. With this energetic frequencies increasing, don't be surprised if you cry more, if you have emotional releases more, or if you get more angry, or get more compassionate or stuff like that. But the thing is, you've got to keep that flow of energy, not to allow like what's going on in the media to scare you half to death, or what people are saying, or whatever they're trying to do to program us, that we have to be fluid emotionally, not to hold on to things. Because the Four of Pentacles holds on. It's a card of security or feeling not secure. There's no security in the physical world. There never was. I mean, it's more in our face right now that it's an unstable energy, but there never was. And the reason being is that it's temporary. How can there be security in something that's temporary? The world's gonna, well, I say the world's not gonna end, but the world as we know is gonna end. We're gonna die. We're gonna change jobs. There's nothing that's secure, but spirit, God, or source lasts forever. That's the only true security. So if you're aligned with spirit, source, or God, you can observe the changes and be part of the changes on the world without freaking out about it, because you're secure. That the one that created you is going to take care of you. And that's, I think, the message more than ever, that's the message. So don't let the media scare us. So anyway, what else? I think somebody, or a few of you that may be looking for work may find something, or find a lead in the next week, but it may not be as much money as you want, So I think what this is showing, it's maybe feeling a financial pinch. So if you feel that, it's very, I've been there, I've done that. It's very uncomfortable energy. Try to take a deep breath and remember that it's not, money's not limited. There's an infinite amount of money. It's just our ability to attract that is what's limited, and the only limitation is what's in our brains. It's in our thought patterns. It's in our thinking. So if we change our thinking, then we start to tap into that unlimited flow of money, which is the physical counterpart to abundance. Everything exists in abundance, right? I say this almost every week. There's I could probably see 1,000,000 trees looking out of my window, and there's an infinite air, there's infinite water, infinite food. Even though more than half the world's hungry, we have the resources and technology to feed the world 10 times over. Everything that exists in abundance, including money, because that's our system of fair trade in this society right now. So it just changes hands. It's not limited. It's just changes hand. It flows. It's current of currency, right? Currency. So this is a reminder to check in with our program lack-based mentality and keep working on purging that programming. My feeling is you just go into the heart, you feel abundant in your heart, you affirm that you're an abundant being, and then the old programming falls away, and then you'll know what to do to augment that, whether it's sleep programs, affirmation, or whatnot. The more in your heart you are, again, being repetitive, the less subjected you are to programming. Right now, I'm on a computer that has a Wi-Fi signal. In the 1970s, according to the Montauk Project material, they were using radio waves to try to program people and doing experiments on Long Island. And my son's mom lived there and during that time, and she didn't understand why people's some days behave so peculiarly, and other days they wouldn't even come outside. And they were using radio waves to subconsciously program people. Now, fast forward now, radio waves are much more sophisticated, right? Because we have Wi-Fi, we have cell signals. So everything is trying to program us, from the commercials, from the speech, from the inflection, the subtle inflections of the voices of our leaders. It's all trying to program us, the media. But if you're in your heart, you resist that. Hearts cannot be programmed. That can be our mantra for the week. Maybe I'll start this on Tarot Time. What's our mantra for the week? The heart cannot be programmed, basically. By their very nature, your heart can't be programmed. And by with gratitude to Heart Math Institute and others, we now know the heart is stronger than the brain, and we know the heart and the brain are connected. So if you bring the heart into vibrational coherence, love, right? That's a coherent heart loves, right? An incoherent heart hates and fears. A coherent heart loves. But because the heart and the brain are connected, you bring your heart into coherence, the brain becomes into coherence, and your heart and your brain link and blend, and voila, your subconscious becomes more resistant to programming. That's the key. Dwell in the heart, the eye of the storm. Dwell in the heart. Yes. So what are you guys saying? All right. So thank you, Chris. I got the restrictions. Check out Chris the Volunteers YouTube channel also. Who else has a YouTube channel? Millie has one. Krista Blindly Inspired has a YouTube channel. We've got all of us, and if and when Jared of Who the channel comes in, we need to at some point schedule a Zoom meeting, right? For all of us YouTubers here, we're all connected in community, and just like go over some strategies, basically, like how are we going to grow further? I mean, I studied a lot. And it's not by accident that my channel's doing well. I'll put it that way. There's certain things that I apply to it that I'd love to share with you guys, so we may all grow. I mean, of course, the most important thing is being of good quality. Whatever you learn about YouTube, the only thing we have control over is putting out good videos, right? So anyway, that's the most important thing. So let me move on to that. Can I interacting with you guys a lot? Do you have a channel, MDR, yet? You would have a good channel. I think we can call you by name, Mary. She's a client of mine, and boy, you have some stories to tell, right? That's an idea. Instead of writing the book, or in conjunction with writing your book, start a YouTube channel. That would be an amazing niche. It's like, I know what you're thinking. It's like, yeah, find me the time and I'll do it, right? But that would be an amazing niche. People that are having problems finding work, how to deal with things like job interviews, window shopping, all that kind of stuff that we talk about. Yes. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. If anybody's new, you want to say where in this world you are from, and Neptune direct. Yeah, Neptune just went direct. What is that today, or yeah? Oh, like I said, in my dreams, I was clearing entities from people that I know. It's like, all right, I was working in my dreams. I don't know how I have energy today. feel like spirit is saying, you were clearing entities from yourself. That's what they're telling me as I'm saying I have to clear entities from other people. You were clearing entities from yourself, and they were just I don't know what the right word is. Saying it's not like I wasn't helping other people also, but there's a reflection like of what I was doing for the others, but it's really clearing, things that are attaching to me basically. Yeah, if I have on average, I don't even know what I have on average of views on my channel anymore. I know it's over 100,000 a month, so yeah, that's a lot of energy directed to me, and so it's very easy to pick up entities. So I do a lot of my clearing. I don't fear it. It's interesting to me, and I just do my energetic clearings. So anyway, so this is the Native American tarot. This is the card that I got. I do mix these cards up, believe it or not, but we've gotten this one, I think, 3 out of the last 4 weeks. The Maiden of Vessels. That's like the Page of Cups. That's news. That's again, what I'm seeing is the vessels on her head. So again, I think this is just another way of saying, yeah, to work with heart-brain coherence, to blend the emotions with the intellect, feelings, intuition, and stuff like that. Keep working on intuition. I think what they're trying to say is, adding to some of the meaning on the main cards, is that a lot of us are having new intuitive openings right now. So maybe meditate more and invite that in, basically more. All right. Yeah. So, overwhelmed but happy. Thanks, Rivkik. Yeah. Oh, well, spirit directs. That's what I asked my guides. It's direct the right people to my channel, basically. See, it's good for my ego to have the numbers, but this is not about my ego. So I ask spirit to bring me the right people. I'm saying I want the quality over the quantity, basically. So I think my guides listen. So anyhow, let's see, which deck do I have here? Oh, I have the Starseed Oracle deck with me. I don't use this a lot on Tarot Time. I love this. Do I have the box somewhere? Yeah. I know it's a Rebecca Campbell. Oh, Danielle Noel. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who did the artwork. Danielle Noel does the artwork, but this is a Rebecca Campbell divination deck or oracle deck, and this is the Starseed Oracles, because that's part of what I am. My channel, like attracts like, my channel attracts a lot of starseeds, right? I use the star. Yeah, exactly. Good point. Why not use the Starseed Oracle more? I'm going to start doing it. It's beautiful art. It speaks to my soul. I tend to do that more on like my monthly forecast, but yeah, it's just what happens. Tarot Time gets longer and longer and longer. Already an hour in. Weight of the World. Interesting. Because we had the World card reverse. Like, you may be feeling the weight of the world. It's not your job to hold up the world. It's your job to open your heart, connect with spirit, and get your downloads so you can help yourself en route to helping others, right? So what it says is boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. That's a good message. Let me see if I can angle this. You might get more information from the star. To me, these almost look like energetic tornadoes, like energy whirlwinds in a way. I need to flip. Sorry about that. Yeah, they're in. Oh, I see. She's in the water. There's a calmness. There's kind of this cloud pattern. There's stars all around. There's stars in the water. Water represents emotions. Time to do a cleansing and clearing. We have the 12/12 is coming up. We're going to be doing a live energy transmission here to help raise your frequency so you can more easily step into that portal, like blend with the energies of the portal to receive your upgrades. It's going to be a very powerful one this year. And that's really the lead into the Solstice portal. So I think immerse yourself in positive emotion. Maybe take some nice warm salt baths this week. Do things to clear all the stress of the world out. This is a very calming energy from what I'm getting here. So anyway, just for us, yeah. I find the YouTube channels do tend to do better when they're focused on one area and one subject. Yeah. I think irresponsibility at the workplace, and I think yours would do well because you've experienced a lot of BS and crap in your job pursuits, basically, that so many people can relate to in this world. But anyway, that's just my thought. All right. Yes, Egypt's a topic for me too. All right, since Egypt's a topic, let's go to the Isis Oracle deck next. Let's see, Corvettes. Wow. Oh, Laura. So Laura B loves this. I have to get another Rebecca Campbell deck. Oh wow, good for you. Yeah. See, being a YouTube creator and also being a full-time medium and psychic, I wish I had time to join all these cool groups and to take in more podcasts. Be like, my God, don't worry, we're downloading it for you. I mean, it would still be good, but they give me a lot of information directly. So still, there's so many great teachers out there that I learn from. All right, so clearing my mind. So from the Isis Oracle deck, what we got is Cartouche. Cartouche, anyone? Not cartoon. Cartouche. Divine names of power. So maybe make up some new mantras, new affirmations this month. And they talk about the Devis, although that's more Vedic than Egyptian. But I don't know why that's relevant. But that popped into my mind. The Devis. So maybe there's certain deities to connect with and to do mantras for. See what else is going on. Fever. This looks like a very kind of solar mercurial energy. That's a Mercury. That's a healing energy there. Um, and then there's like a nice altar and a cauldron. Call them the divine names of power. There's a lot of them. Yeshua, um, Hecate, Demeter. There's a lot of names of power. Jesus, or I said Yeshua, right? So different names of Jesus, Christ, Christos, Krishna. Vishnu, I can think of a few others. In Egyptian terms, how about Sekhmet? She comes through my channels now sometimes. So I channel Sekhmet apparently. Bastet, Ra, Isis, the Isis Oracle. Yeah, all these are names of power. So good message. Yeah. Wow, beautiful. You like that? Huh. And that is here, my family. Oh yeah. So Spirit Mind Family is our Patreon group that we do a lot of cool stuff. That we do more higher level frequency channeling on twice a month there. We have a topic of the month. We have exclusive videos. I make up new meditations every month for the group. I mean, you can join for free, but to really get in on this stuff, it's $5 a month. The beauty of crowdfunding. I get 1,000 members. You guys get a big bargain. You're getting hundreds of dollars of services. Meanwhile, I'm making good money because a lot of people are paying $5 right now. It's only 60, but anyway, you get the idea. Anyway, moving right along. How about Moonology? I'm gonna rip through these last six. I see we're already well over an hour. I don't know, 42 people on, walking barefoot in the garden. Thank you, Justine. Yeah, I try to walk barefoot. It's a little hard in the winter. You have to do, like, I've walked on hot coals. It's like I can walk on freaking cold snow if I can walk on hot coals, right? It's just a mind over matter exercise more than anything. Um, anyhow, anyhow, So what we got here is new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. We got new moon in Aries last time also. There's tend to be themes, and we had a little bit of a little bit of a hit on taking action earlier in here. So it's another time to take action. So if you have ideas, I mean, I know Mercury's retrograde and all, and Mars is retrograde. So energetically, it's a good time to step back and to plan your actions. But like I said, Spirit's been saying in different ways, no, it's still time to take action. There's other things going on, basically. So anyhow, yeah, papyrus, exactly. Thanks, Justine. Yeah, very good. The treasure, yeah. He also wanted me to pull this card, so I'm going to do. Oh, I love the purple. I think we're getting a lot of violet, purple, and white energy, affecting the earth. When we get these frequencies, they're interdimensional, but there's also a very dimensional aspect to it, an energy surge that happens. When we get the violet and the white, I mean, it's really about healing ourselves. It's also about higher frequencies that are coming in. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So again, they're answering why, even though things are retrograde, why it's a good action time. It's because the energy is gaining momentum, basically. So anyway, there's that. We have the frequency of the week, and so we have 4 more. I like to do our frequency of the week as well from the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck. All right. Let's cut this one, and this is Tantric Journey. So we had this one, but not for a good while. But we used to get this one a couple of years ago. So Tantric Journey to me is about blending divine masculine and feminine. But let me see what this says. The frequency of Tantric Journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another, basically. So I always get reminded of the Charge of the Goddess. It's like a Celtic, like I think it's a Brigid chant. It's popular in Wicca and neo-paganism, but part of the line is that a couple of things that at the end of your deepest despairs and your greatest ecstasies, you shall find me there, and all acts of love and pleasure shall be my rituals, basically. So when I indulge in acts of pleasure myself, I invite Spirit in to partake with me. Whatever that is, it doesn't just have to be sexual. There's other forms of pleasure, but I always invite my guides, the nature spirits, and the higher ones to be part of this experience of pleasure and ecstasy, basically. So I think that, and I'm looking at MDR's comment. Yeah, I know that about Daniel, that he loved the attention. Yeah, again, it's learning how to cultivate your mind, right? Yeah, I want to do that again. I did it. I was during a sweat lodge, actually. So they had us all. It's only, I don't know, maybe 8 feet. It wasn't like I was doing it a long time. And honestly, I stepped through it fairly quickly. But the idea in my mind is like I was above the coals. So that was my image. So as I was walking above the coals, and I didn't get burned. And it felt warm to me. It just felt warm, not hot. All right. Saida. Oh, what is that? There's a lot going on beneath the surface. That's all I have to say, basically. With the opening of Notre Dame and and Donald Trump inside, there and shaking hands and everything. I so you're saying for show. That's what popped into my mind, for show. All right. So anyhow, so this is excuse me, dry fingers in morning. This is the what's the name of this deck? It's one of the Kyle Gray decks. I think it's the Divine Masters Oracle. Jawal Cool, Divine Mission, Enlightened Action, Make Choices from the Heart. We got him 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We got him before, not that long ago. So that's good advice. I'm seeing that he's in gold, so maybe drawing a lot of that gold energy. That's one of the heart chakra colors of wealth. And what they tell me, and I also have meditations, like guided activations for sale. It's going to be on a website soon, but you can still purchase them. One of them's the royalty DNA activation. So we all have royalty DNA. It's all encoded within us. But if we hit the right frequencies, they start to awaken. So what they do is they part of that, they bring a lot of this gold energy basically, and they tell us that that the frequencies of the heart, like compassion and the frequency of abundance, is very, very similar. So saying, that opening your heart really helps activate your royalty or your abundance DNA, because they're a very, very similar frequency. And I'm kind of being reminded of that through this card, basically, also. And if you're interested in we're going to do we're doing a 2-for-1 sale also. So they're $33 each. They're about 40-minute meditations, but you can do them over and over and over again. So I've got 5 different ones now. So you can email us, or my email's on my channel description. But if you don't have it, it's info@atombetweentheworlds.com, and our website is atombetweentheworlds.com. Anyhow, let's do our totem animal from the medicine card. So this is just North American wildlife. Not, I have another deck that covers animals from other parts of the world. How about your departed brother, Sean? I have a departed brother named Michael, maybe hanging out with Sean. Wow. Wow, so there's a lot. I'm just seeing a lot of synchronicities. Yeah. All right. So I know I'm not catching all of your comments, but I still have to work, being that we're almost an hour, 20 minutes in now. Here we go. Weasel. Well, weasels is not a negative thing. I have to look that up. I mean, I think they represent stealth, right? Because they're very stealthy. They're kind of we need to be strategists, right? We need to be stealthy sometimes. Sometimes it's good to be incognito. And I've used my medicine card several times. I know we got Weasel 1, 2, or 3 weeks ago, but I've used these several times. It's not a matter of me not shuffling and pulling the same card, just to be clear. That always happens. There's always themes. So let's see. Weasel is stealth. Weasel's incredible amount of energy and ingenuity. Use your ingenuity. Be strategist. That's the art of the warrior. Assess the playing field. Understand it inside out, outside in. Learn how to blend. They've shown me the example of oh God, I forget. Well, to Westerners, he's known as Geronimo, and I can't for the life of me remember his real name. But he was the master of stealth, and they was like dress up like cowboys, basically, with dark skin. I mean, they got away with it, and then they would attack from the inside out. Basically, they would use his stealth, and so anyway, so strategy, in this world, basically, be a strategist. Thank you, Vivek, if I'm pronouncing that right. Weasels are cute. Yeah, we have fishers here. They're in the weasel family. Beautiful animals. They're a little bit aggressive, and they're known to take out cats, so you have to be careful about them. But they are beautiful. And we got Azure. So we got that beautiful blue energy from Doreen Virtue's Messages from the Angels deck. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. This is a message for us. A lot of us are working on creating something in our lives. Do the work. Don't try to force it. Feel like it's real in your heart. Be grateful for it as if it's real in your heart. So this is another form of heart brain coherence for manifestation. If you can hold an intention in your mind, that could be a vision of your ideal future, and you can hold the right emotions in your heart, which is gratitude. You blend your heart and your brain, you send that powerful signal to the quantum field, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza and others. And if you keep doing this and repeat it, it becomes part of your energy, and you manifest that in your life. So do your manifestation. And that's what I have for you today. So on the schedule, Thursday, as our 5:30 upload, Eastern time, we're going to have the winter psychic forecast and messages from spirit. I've got a few pages of automatic writing for that one. That night at 7 o'clock, we're going to do some high frequency channeling for the 1212 portal. Then Friday night at 8, it's a lot of live streams this week. We have the full moon forecast. Then Sunday, we'll do the full moon transmission, because the next full moon's on Sunday. That's what I have. Thank you guys for hanging it out. One last comment before we go. Oh, so sweet. Snacky Dunkin' Donuts Sumter. Very, yeah. It's being stealthy, right? All right. Anyways, I have to end now. I know we have things to do. Thanks for hanging out for a full hour and 20 minutes with me. Oh, like a gorilla. Maybe you have a Sasquatch for a guide animal. Yeah. Yeah, so it could be that, but it could be Sasquatch also. Yeah. Thank you, Jody, for that. Appreciate all you guys. Wild boar came up a couple of weeks ago as our totem animal, charging forward. That's what wild boars do. Lots of perseverance. Very good, guys. All right. Love you guys. Thank you, everybody. See you next time.